Hey guys, what's up? AttackingTucans here, welcoming you to my new Let's Play of Rollercoaster Tycoon 3. I am so excited for this series because what we're going to do is we have this gigantic empty space of land to build a gigantic, amazing, wonderful theme park, and I'm actually super excited for this. And this game is really fun, and the reason this game is so great is because it actually allows you to ride the roller coasters you build. You can also get up and personal with all of your little guests. They have kids, there's adults, there's teenagers. It's actually a really cool game. In this game, when it came out, it was pretty ahead of its time. Rollercoaster Tycoon games have always been ahead of their time quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead real fast and pause the game, just because we don't want them to be walking around with nothing to do for the time being. And once we get some rides open, we'll allow them to start riding them. Okay, so here's the battle plan for this park. Let's get a big wide angle of the park. Let's look around. Okay, so I think right here in this very beginning entrance area, we're gonna have a very generic themed area with just some basic rides, some brick buildings, but it'll still look nice. It'll just look like a regular, kind of like an old-timey suburban town, I guess, maybe? I don't know how to describe it, but it'll look cool. And then I think in this back corner back here, we'll have a big lake with a water park, because actually I am playing with the expansion pack. So we have water parks, zoos, a bunch of new rides. Is there new scenery? I think there's also new scenery. Let's take a look. Yes, there is, I think, 4 new types of scenery compared to the original. I am playing with the expansion packs, so don't worry about that. It will be fantastic. So we'll have a big water park back here next to a lake, and maybe some mountains. In this corner back here, we'll have a spooky themed area where everything is so terrifying. Up in this front corner, right up here, we will have a western themed area full of sand and cowboys. And then this front corner, I'm not entirely sure yet. I think maybe like a pirate / Atlantis theme. But actually, now that I think about it, I might as well make like the pirate / Atlantis theme in the lake area. And let's see what other topics we have. We have generic, we have western, spooky, sci-fi. Sci-fi might actually be kind of cool. Or dinosaurs. Prehistoric? I don't know. This is actually kind of tricky. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do. There's so many different options. You know what? We'll decide that later. But for now, let's actually get started on this park. Now, one thing I plan to do is I plan to do a majority of like the beefy stuff during each episode. And then at the very end, I will have like a little sped up section where I add the tedious scenery, such as building buildings and stuff, so you guys don't have to like watch me place a million walls. Because one problem about this game that I will admit to is when you build walls, you have to build them all one section at a time. And if you want to build them up, you have to press a button, do it one section at a time. You can't just like drag and click the walls. So that could have been done a bit better, but it doesn't matter too much. Now, since we are playing in sandbox mode, we have unlimited money, we have control over the day and night cycle, and we have every single ride and piece of scenery unlocked. So we have a lot of creative freedom, and I plan to do a lot with it. So let's go ahead and start building stuff, shall we? I think the first thing we should build is something very iconic that when people enter the park, they'll just be like, wow, this is amazing, amazing. They'll be amazed. I love it when I'm amazed by something. Okay, I'm going to narrow this down to just the generic ride, since we're going to build a generic area first with no theme. And I'm not sure where this is, but I want to build a Ferris wheel. I have found it. Now, in the first 2 Rollercoaster Tycoon games, they had these like little tiny Ferris wheels that just looked dinky. I mean, how often do you see Ferris wheels in theme parks that are this small, unless you're like in the kiddie area? Well, this game fixed that by adding the giant Ferris wheel to actually add a sense of amazing wonder to your park. And I'm not going to put this in the very front. I'm going to put this more so, actually, this might actually be something, how many times can I say actually? I think we should put this sort of, not entirely in the middle, but like maybe a third of the way in, so it's not too overwhelming when you enter. Yes, that is beautiful. Wow, that is gorgeous. Actually, I'm not sure if I like this or not yet. Huh. You know what? I'm actually not going to build this year because I'm going to be pretty picky with what I do. Okay, so one thing I really want to think about right now before I start building this park is I want to have a form of transportation to each quadrant of the park. That way, when a guest enters the park, if they want to go back to the spooky area, they don't have to walk all the way back there. They'll be able to take a form of transportation. So we can look at the transportation rides. Now, there's quite a few. What is this? Oh, those are the safari rides, such as the elephant transportation. And I think we went something a bit more futuristic. A lot of theme parks have trains as transportation, and we probably will have a train in like the Midwestern theme, but I think we went like a high-speed monorail around the park, because that would just look gorgeous, in my opinion. In my humble opinion. I've never understood why people say that. In my humble opinion. So most of your opinions are unhumble? Like, who knows? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this like right in the very front area, and I'm going to build it up in the air so the path can go underneath it. But what I'll do is once I have this station built, I will build like a gigantic opening building over the whole entire thing, and inside we'll have some like food, we'll have a little food court, we'll have maybe a merry-go-round, something nice. That way we have like a nice little opening area that will sell lots of things, and if people need a place that's indoors to cool down, they can go inside there. Okay, so that's that side. I'm gonna build it back this way a little bit so it's slightly symmetrical, and I think that makes it symmetrical. So let's just go ahead, and we're not gonna build this whole entire thing now. It's just kind of here for a placeholder because we can't really add too much until we get more of the park built. But it is here for future reference. So let's go ahead and kind of curve it that way. And for this side, we'll kind of do the same thing. This first little area is going to be slightly symmetrical, but not completely. Just like enough to make it look nice and clean. The other parts of the park won't be symmetrical, but I think this little entryway should be slightly symmetrical. Just as for the heck of it. Okay, I don't want to quit. Don't ask me that. Why do I want to do such a thing? Also, if we do this, we can put it on test mode. Oh shit, we don't want to do that. No, never mind. If you're in construction mode and you put it in test, you'll see like a ghost of the train go along. But for this ride, we don't really need that. Okay, so let's go ahead and extend this path further. We'll get our concrete, and I'm going to extend it as concrete for a little bit. But when it goes to indoors, I want to have something nice and fancy looking instead of just regular asphalt. Asphalt. It's like when your ass has something wrong with it. Actually, you could actually call your butt crack an asphalt because it's like, you know, a fault and the earth's surface is like a gigantic line or something. Well, that's what your butt, what am I talking about? Who knows? This tile actually is probably perfect because it looks just like something you would see indoors. I mean, because that's usually what's inside of fancy buildings and stuff is tile, because janitors are able to easily clean it with mops and such. So we'll probably have that in there. Well, actually, I'm going to make a small little space real quickly, and in the middle of this, we're going to build a merry-go-round. So it'll be nice and kid-friendly when you enter. That's not actually why I'm putting a merry-go-round here, but it just kind of adds like a sense of wonder to see rides indoors. I don't know, something about it. It's pretty fancy. We can go ahead and put that on test, even though it's not going to move because we're currently paused. I'll probably unpause it once we've built our first roller coaster, because that's really what guests come to ride. I mean, who goes to a theme park and doesn't ride a roller coaster? I mean, you don't want to be one of those people. I know I went to a theme park recently, and she was like, I'm so happy to be here with like people other than my family, because my whole entire family is just terrified of roller coasters, and going to a theme park with them is just really boring because all they want to do is go to gift shops and stuff. And I'm like, why would you even go to a theme park in the first place? Like, if you wanted to go shopping, why don't you just like go to the mall or something? And she's like, I don't know, they're kind of weird. And I was like, yeah, I agree, they are kind of weird. I want to fill in all this space with paths. Actually, I'm not going to put paths like right here. I'm going to leave that little space empty. I'm going to leave both of those little spaces empty. Now, in this game, I love this feature they added. They gave the characters a bit more AI. These guys are called peeps. Not like the little bunny things you win at Easter time, but they're called peeps. I don't know why. They just do stuff for the heck of it. So anyways, in the first two Rollercoaster Tycoon games, if you made a path that was like more than one thick, guests would like get lost and just keep going in circles. But in this game, they actually treat paths correctly. Like they won't get lost in the middle of a path going in circles, if that makes any sense. If you've played Rollercoaster Tycoon before, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's go ahead and add some like bushes and stuff just to make this area pretty nice looking. What we'll do is we'll add like a glass roof so some sunlight can get inside, and then we'll add some lamps for the nighttime to light this place up. So we'll spruce it up with some trees. Actually, ooh, I wonder, are they called spruce trees because they're used to spruce up areas and make them look nicer? That would actually be kind of awesome. That makes so much sense. Do they even have spruce trees in this game? I don't think so. We don't actually need them. I'm going to add a few walls real fast. And if you guys think this Let's Play goes a little bit like too slowly paced, just let me know. I don't want you guys to get bored, but I'm trying to like take my time, kind of just like get the feel for it and just enjoy myself when building things, you know. You know how it is. You guys know how it is. Okay. I'm not used to moving around with this mouse yet. Okay. Actually, can I use the WASD keys to move around? I can. That's actually pretty helpful if I want to just move little tiny bits. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to build the whole entire building, but I'm just going to mark out where the walls are going to be so that we can know where to place things. So let's start with glass walls, maybe. Glass, do we want the whole entire building to be glass? That might be a bit too much, actually. Let's actually go for, minimize that, just regular brick walls. Let's do it. So we want where is it at? We want the full height brick wall with base, because we want a structure for it to sit on. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to build this around here. Okay, so I put some walls around here so it looks nice and pretty. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take these walls away, and I'm going to make the path 3 thick, just so it's like a big grand entrance to come inside here, just so it looks nice and fantastic. So go ahead and just like make it 3 thick, and we could actually take that out right there, and let's put like back a couple spaces. I'm not sure if I want that support there. This kind of looks bad. Can I do something without a support? You know what? I'm going to put something there, like a tree or a statue, so it looks nicer and doesn't have that support. It's like sticking in the middle of it. And I'm also going to change these paths to cement right before it actually enters the building, so you can actually kind of tell where the building starts and ends. And let's kind of make this whole entire thing just a bit thicker. Whoop, whoop. The guests are just going to awaken from their trance, and a big bunch of stuff is going to be built right in front of them. They'll be so amazed. They'll be like, holy shit, how did that even happen? I kind of want to put some like trees like down the middle here. That way it's just like perfect looking. Did I do that evenly? One. It's hard to tell. There. That fixes it. Right here, I'm going to make it even a bit wider, and we're going to put a gigantic fountain in the middle of this. A nice, pretty fountain. We'll just thicken all this up here, and they'll probably put some like nice trees and stuff around it. We'll have a big, grand entrance. So when people enter, they'll just be, their jaws will drop. Okay, so I'm just going to put like a small little Cupid fountain in the very center, and then we're going to add some like plants and trees around this. So let's just go ahead and do that right now. And right now, this building might look like it doesn't really belong, even though it's not even finished yet. But once I add like trees and shrubs and flowers around it and finish building it, it'll look gorgeous, gorgeous, darling. So don't you guys worry. I know what I'm doing. I plan to build the most beautiful park of all time. I'm building trees right on top of my guests because I'm a terrible person. Okay, so we have some nice trees right there. Sometimes the trees like grow in different sizes, but well, I'm gonna try to get these trees right here to kind of be the same size as the other ones. That's a bit better. This one's a bit too big. I just have to keep doing it until you get one of the perfect size. I mean, it is nice that they add variety, but sometimes it can be annoying at the same time. Okay, so now, can I place anything on top of the flowers? I can't remember. If I put flowers here, can I put like rocks on top of them? I feel like I actually can. So let's go ahead and get rid of that and find the rocks. Also, another really cool thing, which I'm not going to keep this here, but you can actually add like particles makers. I'll unpause it real fast. And you can actually make really cool looking scenery things using the particle effects. Another example, you can have like misters, you can have fire. So when we make like the scary areas or try to add like an atmosphere to something, we can definitely use these particles to do something like that. Okay, so let's get rid of those because we don't actually want those here. And I'm going to place some benches for the guests. We have to start small, guys, or else we'll never actually have a nice looking park. Gotta pay attention to like the fine details when making a nice, serene park, or else people, it just doesn't give the same vibe. Scenery is a big part when it comes to theme parks, or else, like if you don't have a good looking theme park, then people are kind of turned off from it. We want to add some trash cans so people can throw away their trash and not litter everywhere. And I'm gonna unpause it real fast so these fire particles will go away. The mist doesn't bother me that much because it's not very noticeable, but you know, we'll get rid of that anyways. Hell, look, here, let's ride the merry-go-round real fast so I can show you guys an example of riding rides real fast. Oh gosh, go away, trash can. I don't want you right now. Okay, here we go. Da 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 da. You can look around and everything. Just taking the scenery. It's so beautiful. You can also change our view. We can change. On the roller coasters, you can change what cart you're riding in, but I don't think the merry-go-round allows you to do that. Okay, so next thing we want to do is add some food inside here. Let's pause it again real fast because we don't want everybody wandering around like hobos. First, I'm going to go ahead and build some paths that lead down to the ground for this ride. Okie dokie, I went ahead and built the cues for that so we can know where those would line up. And now I want to kind of place down some coloring for the ground. Let's spray paint the ground to make it concrete inside here, except for the area where we have some bushes and stuff, just so it looks a bit nicer in here. Now there's lots of options for the whole spraying the ground, so we want to find the best one. We could have like a regular concrete, or we could have some bordered concrete. That looks a bit nicer maybe. I'm not entirely sure. We could do tarmac. No. Let's see, cobblestones. Ooh. Either that or... brickwork, cobblestones. It's hard to tell. Irregular pavings. Ooh, I think I like this one the best. I'm going to keep it like this. Oh, you know what? No, we'll just do this for now, and then if we don't like it, we'll change it later. Nothing is ever permanent. We can always change it back. But once there's like a bunch of like shops and stuff in here, you won't even really be able to see this anyways. It'll be covered up by everything else. Make it look all nice and tidy. Make it seem like it's actually indoors. We'll keep the grass around this little area for the merry-go-round so there's a bit of greenery in here. For the most part, we're just going to paint it all to a crazy paving. Alright, and now it is all painted and beautiful. Perfect, darling. Perfect. I go ahead and add like a real quick fence around this just to prevent people from like walking in here and peeing in the fountain or something. Don't want a kid to fall in and drown. You know, that would be awful if that happened. We don't want something terrible like that to happen ever. It would be awful until we actually want to drown our guests, but we probably won't ever actually want to do that. Also, I've never actually understood what these are for. Are these just like a concrete sides? I actually don't know what these are for. I think it's just to make more realistic supports for things, I guess. Then there's this, a metal entrance. Is there a large one? There's a medium. It's for double. Then they have sides. Rock entrance. That's actually pretty cool looking. I didn't even realize these were in here. I just kind of looking around. Interesting. We'll definitely want to use these at some point because they're pretty cool, actually. They definitely add a good sense of environment. I'm going to go ahead and add some lamps around here, so whenever it's nighttime, it'll be nice and lit up. Okay, all the lamps are in place. Let's actually set it to nighttime so we can see what it'll look like. Ooh, so beautiful so far. Can't wait to get this building done. Then it'll look nice. Okay, let's go ahead and add some food inside here to feed all the hungry customers once they're looking for food. So we'll have some hamburgers, and there is a bunch of customization options in this game, and it's made my headphone come out of my ear. Also, I'm probably going to name everything, so that's always fun as well. Hamburgers, we'll call this is a tasty burger. I'm pretty sure that's the movie reference. What is that a reference to? I can't remember the movie, but I know that's a reference, so I'm just going to do it because I can't think of anything else. Okay, so we can set the prices for everything, except we can't drag this up, which makes me kind of sad. But there's the standard burger, the 4th pound, half pound, and 3/4 pound. And you can also choose, check this to add pickles to your standard burger. Okay, yeah, we'll do that for everything. Give lots of customization options. Then once we do it for one hamburger store, we can synchronize it to the rest of the park. Yay! And once we do that, it'll actually make it so every other burger stand in the park will have the same options. And we can also choose how much people want. This will allow customers to choose, which is definitely the best option because guests love having all the options and feeling like they're in control. What does this do? Oh, thoughts. That'll like show, oh, here's the stats, total customers, popularity, satisfaction. Interesting. Let's add a few more stores around here. Food, we'll have a couple food. We definitely need fries. I mean, you would think a hamburger store would sell fries, but no, you have to go to 2 separate stores, stand in 2 separate lines. That way, guests are more dispersed to different things. Ketchup, salt, and vinegar. Who dips their french fries in vinegar? I mean, I guess I do whenever I go to like Captain D's or Long John Silver's and I have it for my fish, but still, just a regular fry shop? Interesting. Okay. I'm happy with these prices. I'm not going to jack them up too much. I want our guests to be happy. Besides, we're not really trying to make money from this park since we have unlimited money. So we just want to do everything to make our friends and families happy that come to our park. We're going to call this place Potato Sticks because that's what French fries are. Potato sticks. Perfect. All right. Now we want some drinks probably. We'll place it right there. Perfect. We'll call this drink my jizz. No. Quench your thirst. Wow. That is an amazing name for this. We'll think of some better names once we get to the themed areas, but right now we're trying to stay fairly generic with things. We'll allow guests to choose how much lemon slices, ice cream, pieces of fruit. Well, what has ice cream in it? Vanilla milkshake. That is what. Can a soda water vanilla milkshake? We're charging $1.20 for water. No, I'm not going to charge that much for water. We'll charge enough so we don't have a loss from it, but that's all we're going to do. I hate when places charge for water. It's such a ripoff. I can understand like 5 cents just for like the cup fee, just so you're not getting something for free, but still, like in a theme park, you would think they had free water since you're paying so much to get in there. And let's add one more thing. Let's see, do we want food or, ooh, dessert? A dessert's a good idea. Cotton candy. Who doesn't love cotton candy? Okay, cotton candy stands. Let's see. What do they have? Cotton candy on a stick, a large cotton candy on a stick, and then bags of cotton candy. Ooh, red coloring. You can choose how red your cotton candy is. That is interesting. Did I open all these things? I believe so. Okay, I totally did. And we'll call this, oh, where's the name? There it is. I want to name this Fluffy Goodness. Fluffy Goodness. If you guys have any better ideas for names for things, you can go ahead and put them in the comments, and I'll rename them later. I guess I'm just not very inspired for good names right now or something. Who knows? Okay, I just got a really good idea. So I'm going to go ahead and put a path going out this way as well. And this is going to lead to a special roller coaster that we'll have right here. It'll kind of come and like wrap around this whole entire building. Whether it's scary or not, I'm not really sure. It might be more of a kiddie coaster, but it'll still look really cool. And I wanted to kind of have a ride inside here, but I don't think we'll be able to fit one. But we'll definitely have like the roller coaster come through this building as well. Sort of like this thing does, but it'll be the actual track, not the loading station. I think that'll be pretty interesting. Okay, so what else do we want to put in here? Go ahead and put like a fountain right there. That's a female holding like one of those. Oh, I want to turn it so it's facing the entrance way. Now it is, I think. Yeah, and I think water's going to come out of her jar right there. Yep, totally. Perfect. Now it looks so wonderful. Okay, I think on this side we're just going to have some like bathrooms. We'll have an information kiosk. Let's see, information kiosk, where's that at? Oh, that's the wrong thing. Bathrooms. information. That way people can get like park maps and stuff, because we don't want guests to get lost. We'll have, let's say, first aid, because guests get hurt or they get sick. The first aid stall is gigantic. I don't even know why it's so big, but it is. We'll have, let's see, umbrellas. Yeah, might as well sell umbrellas in case it rains. And what else can we do? Anything else that's important? Maybe some we'll have some novelty items. Let's have novelty items along this backside maybe. I'm just gonna go ahead and put a lot of things on here. Okay, I placed down a lot of shops, and real quickly I'm just going to extend this out as 3 thick as well. We'll have to actually change this back to concrete just so we can have the consistency. There we go. Perfect. Everything is coming along quite well now. Lastly, we want to place an ATM just in case guests run out of money. I'm not sure where I want to put it though. I guess I can put it along this wall right here. No big deal. And yeah, that's actually shaping up pretty good. Okay, right here, I'm gonna kind of put some brick walls up, so when you enter, it kind of seems like it's a bit more clean looking. You don't see all of these lines back here and everything. And I'll put a roof on top of this, so once you walk up here, you can't see down. And then it'll kind of seem like offices, because we'll have these doors right here, and people will think, oh, that's where the manager of the park stays, and it possibly could be. We'll just have to use our imagination for something like that. And we'll do the same thing for this over here. Okay, so this building is starting to shape up quite nicely. I'm going to go ahead and do some more scenery in the very front, like some trees and something. And I probably won't spend too much time on scenery most episodes, but this is just one gigantic thing I wanted to tackle at the very beginning of the park. I just wanted a big grand entrance when you enter the park. And doesn't this look nice? And there's a merry-go-round inside, there's a monorail at top, so we'll have a roller coaster going across the front as well, and it'll go through on the top of this back section back here, and it'll be really nice looking. Really quickly, before we do anything, let's ride the merry-go-round again and see how much has changed. Wow. It seems so professional now. It actually seems like a real theme park or something. And once we have a roller coaster going through the top and everything, this will be looking nice. Get a ceiling up there. Ooh, wow, I'm so excited. I'm going to go ahead and add some extra trees to the front real fast, just to tie this building in. Okay, let's add some trees to kind of tie everything together. We'll go ahead and add some... Oh, that's not a tree. Well, that is a tree. I don't want a tree, though. I want some big bushes that will really just fill out the area. Where's a gigantic bush? Is this... How big is this? That's pretty big. Alright, we'll just kind of put that along there, and then we will surround them with some actual hedges, and that really just brings everything together. It makes everything look so much more beautiful and lush and green and magnificent. And then we'll go ahead, just add a fence along the outside right here just to kind of close everything in. And wow, I'm actually very proud of this so far. I'm going to pause it again so more guests don't come in and get bored because there's no open rides yet. There's only open food. I mean, that's all you really need. Right now it's a gigantic food court. Okay, wow, this is starting to look super nice. I really enjoy this. We'll have to color this monorail a bit different of a color just to make it look a bit more pretty. And yes, I am very happy with our progress so far. I mean, it may not look like much, but it's going to be a very grand opening to this park. And I'm sort of liking it. So let's go ahead and get a nice view. So thank you all so far for watching this episode of Let's Play Rollercoaster Tycoon 3. Next episode, we will build our first roller coaster and finish up this building so this can actually feel more like a real theme park. Thank you all for watching. If you guys want to see more of this series, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot and lets me know what you enjoy. And also, in the comments, leave me a theme park name idea so we can have a cool name for this theme park. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all next time. Bye!